Health Union Nehawu is calling for the removal of Social Development Minister Lindiwe Zulu. It follows media reports on allegations of nepotism levelled against the minister. Zulu is accused of trying to appoint Linton Mchunu, who's believed to be a close ally, as Director General in her department. Mchunu served as her Chief of Staff during her time as Minister of Small Business. Governance expert Dr Sam Koma joins us now for some analysis. Dr Koma, very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. I mean, just looking and gauging the information that's come out about Minister Lindiwe Zulu, what would you say this revelation confirms about what we've heard, especially the findings by the Public Service Commission of 2022, when it comes to the abuse of power by ministers?
Yes, thanks, Mpho, for the opportunity. Yes, basically, this allegation of nepotism leveled against Minister Lindiwe Zulu is very serious. And basically, there is already a report which was published by the Public Service Commission, which reveals the extent of abuse of power exercised by ministers as regards to the issue of the recruitment, selection and appointment of heads of department and other senior managers within the public service. So this revelation that has been already published in the news reports affirms that this malpractice is entrenched in the public service and something needs to be urgently done. So in this case, I think in the immediate, the president is basically supposed to initiate an investigation with the purpose to test the veracity of this allegation so that he can make an informed decision which may entail the dismissal of the minister, of course, if the outcomes of the investigation implicates the minister in this instance. And also what needs to be done going forward is that there should be fast-tracking of the finalization of the public service bill that is before Parliament. In part, the bill vests power on heads of department to now make decisions around selection and appointments of senior officials in the public service, and thus removing this particular power from the ministers as currently it is the practice. Yeah. But also this allegation runs contrary to the noble objective of the Ramaphosa administration, which from day one stated that it intends to create or build an ethical, professional and meritocratic state.
Absolutely. How imperative will the next steps be? I mean, we also know that Nehawu has also weighed in, writing to the president, expressing the dissatisfaction. Zulu's second-in-command, Deputy Minister Henrietta Bogopane Zulu, has also expressed her disapproval, writing to cabinet and really just ventilating this issue. How imperative will the next steps be, especially gauging and looking at the political climate, elections just around the corner, and the strong stance we've heard from the ANC, especially the ANC Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, speaking about how he wishes that the party should have acted faster to stop corruption?
Yes, you're right, Mpho. So the next step is for the president to initiate a due process, and all these role players, the union, in this case Nehawu, the deputy minister, will have to come forward and furnish the evidence that they have before that investigation team that will be set up by the president, so that at the end of the day, the president makes a decision that is rational and also is informed, as opposed to making a decision that is a bit haphazard and also based on a media report. So the safest route is for the president to run with that investigation process so that at the end of the day, the president is able to make a decisive decision around this particular sitting minister. But this is not an isolated case. As I said, the Public Service report, the Public Service Commission report details this kind of malpractices throughout the public service, and we may see this kind of revelations going forward. But it's very important for the president to ensure that he stands by the stated objectives that his administration has already pronounced as part of building a clean government and also a government that is free from acts of corruption, including nepotism.
Yeah. As you and I speak, Dr. Koma, these are all allegations, and of course they're yet to be tested, as you make mention of. But when it comes to the crux of the matter, how much could Minister Zulu argue against these allegations and in her favor? Because I'm understanding that, she could easily say that her department has remained without a director for very long, over 5 years, since Zane Dango's resignation in 2017. How much could she argue, out of this?
Yes, the minister can provide any argument she likes, but remember, she will face difficulty in terms of passing through the hurdle of allegation of abuse of power, because that runs contrary to the Constitution and also the legislative prescripts that governs the recruitment, selection and appointments of individuals in the public service. So whatever reason she advances, she will have to put forward a strong argument that in this instance, I did not exercise any form of abuse of authority vested in me by virtue of being the Minister of Social Development.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time, Minister. Of course, Dr. Sam Koma, who's a governance expert, speaking there about Minister Lindiwe Zulu, the controversy and the accusations of nepotism.